live.
Hi, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. We had a minor issue of tech gremlins, but it's all resolved now. Alex will be joining us later. He's still dealing with them. For personal reasons, Megan will no longer be joining us on Elsewhere for the foreseeable future. We're very sorry to see her go. Everything is fine. It's all amicable, but she had some personal life stuff. We also switched systems. We are now no longer playing 5th edition. We are playing a game called Clockwork Hearts, which I designed. I'm very excited to try it out. If you want to see more of this system, Chromatic Chimera has a podcast called Clockwork Hearts. I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. So a strange woman and her assistant has just come over and delivered Leela Vati a letter. So Leela breaks the silver seal, reads it for a moment, and goes very, very pale. She folds it up, sticks it in the front of her dress, and says, excuse me, I have to go. I'm not sure when I'll be back. This is important. I'm so sorry. I have to go. And she turns on her heel and runs to find her dad.
Okay, well, bye. I would say I hope everything is okay, but her mom is missing right now. I wonder if it's to do with that.
Is this something that she does often?
I don't know, not in the week or so that we've known her, I guess.
That is troubling to say the least.
Well, I don't...
What should we do as far as trying to find the people that were taken?
I don't know. Yes, I would definitely like to before, I don't know, something terrible can happen. Who knows what these people really want to do with those they took. Yes, I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out.
Perhaps we should talk to your other father. Perhaps he would have some sort of insight into what we should do.
Yeah, I think that there was like a Triton woman that he had been talking to earlier who was also taken, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Zaya.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if nothing else, they were both talking to Zaya earlier, so maybe there's, I don't know, maybe there's a reason. Maybe Dad knows more than he can say here. Maybe we should get back to the house. It might be safer there, at least. And Eglinton's just kind of anxiously looking around.
The woman who I don't believe has introduced herself yet, clears her throat and she says, before you go, there is more.
Oh.
Geran, and her assistant pulls out a small box and hands it to Bellinor. It is also embossed with the silver eye.
I popped that open.
Inside, on a simple cushion, is a plain copper ring.
Is this a gift? I know we had talked a little, but this is a little fast. I think maybe we go on some dates first.
These are not from me.
Can I inquire as to who they are from then?
I received them with a note signed merely Z. But I know that symbol, and I would not be someone to challenge its speaker.
Okay, thank you, I guess. It seems weird accepting a gift in a time like this, but I will wear it with pride. I will put it on.
If that is all, I have nothing else for you, so good night. She turns with her assistant and walks away.
Okay. Well, that looks very nice, Bellinor.
I think I'll put it on. Oh, I wonder if my real ring can... Hold on, sorry. I was supposed to get my wedding ring today. Forgot about it.
Aww. Mazel tov.
So exciting!
Anyways, let's get back to Eglantine's house.
Yeah, I'll make my way over to my dad and Mara, right? She was our bodyguard, and be like, I think we should maybe head back home.
Yes, that seems like a good idea.
Okay. Well, come on. And I'll just sort of lead my friends. I'll turn to Kieran and be like, you're welcome to come with us, of course.
Yes, I would like to do whatever I can to help you. This was a lovely story, and I do feel that I need to repay the kindness.
Oh, well, I still have to show you our library anyway, so, maybe later.
Ah, yes. Silver linings and all of that.
Right. Okay. And I'll just sort of hike my big puffy skirt up and make my way out.
As you start to leave, you hear a voice call out from behind you. Wait a second! And Flora comes running up. She says, hold on, can I borrow Gabriel for just a few minutes? I mean, I'll send him back after you, but it might be good to have a consult of another Grey Watcher.
Oh.
Well, I am his keeper, so yes, I think you can.
Hey, Gabriel, come on, I don't know what's going on. There's some serious dark magic here. And she grabs Gabriel by the arm and tows him off.
Take your time! Alex isn't here to defend himself.
Oh, I'm Gabriel. I'm gonna go solve this dark magic.
That's my Gabriel.
They're very cute together.
Actually, leaving the party is kind of a process, because there are a bunch of guards, Ravens and Artemis both, who are checking people off, checking the guest list against who's leaving, doing some searches, casting some spells to make sure no one is up to anything that they can figure out. So it takes a while to actually get out of the building and get back to your carriage, but eventually you manage it and you make your way back to the Penrose Manor. It's gotten so late, it's starting to get early again by now.
Well, I guess once we're, safe in the house, Eglantine will go over to wherever her dad is and just be like, is there anything else maybe we should know about, I don't know, anything about why somebody might have wanted to take father away like this?
Not that I can think of. You're welcome to look in his office. I don't believe he was working on anything particularly hush-hush at the moment. I'm trying to think of a connection that everybody who disappeared could have, and frankly, I'm coming up empty.
I mean, Father was talking with Zaya earlier. It seemed like kind of a heated conversation. Do you know if there's some reason someone would want to, I don't know, take or hurt both of them?
We work together. Zaya does shipping for us. She runs Westwind Trading Company, so we rent her ships sometimes or hire her crews, but Azalea Shada isn't a trader, and neither is Mrs. Legat.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe looking around Father's office will help.
Yeah, you know where it is. It shouldn't be locked.
Okay. I'll go take a look if anybody wants to come help. It would probably be good. There's gonna be a lot of notes.
I think I can help with that.
Oh, great. She looks actually relieved, because I imagine once we get there are a lot of notes.
Yes. Your father smooths his shirt and he says, I will be having a meeting with the Ravens as soon as possible. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Oh, be careful. Keep Mara with you, Dad. who knows if they'll come back.
I will. You be careful as well.
I'll be fine. I've got all these, new friends with me, and I'll just gesture.
He looks skeptical.
Oh, well, I mean, you haven't seen Bellinor hit something yet. It's pretty impressive.
That is true.
Okay, and I'll start trotting off to my father's office with anyone interested in coming to snoop with us.
Yeah, I'll go. Eglantine, do you think this could be about money? You seem pretty well off, and...
I mean, I guess it's definitely possible. As far as I know, everybody who was taken at the party, I mean, everybody at the party is, pretty well-to-do in the city, so maybe, but if it is, I think we would have heard something about a ransom or demands by now.
Right, that makes sense.
I don't know.
I'd also be worried because we were attacked before we even went to the party, and obviously by the same people. It seemed like they were after Gabriel, if I remember.
That's true, but they kind of seem to ignore him this time, so maybe there's something else going on.
Perhaps this attack comes in waves. They have certain people they are trying to get, and they just have one attack for these people and another attack for these people. I'm not sure if that would be something they would do.
I don't remember exactly how much Eglantine knew about the shadow men or shadow people. They were like entities that are summoned, right? Or is it like one
Right.
group? Okay. So she would have reason to believe that there's not definitely like the same person who necessarily would have summoned them for both attacks?
Not necessarily.
Right. I know it could be likely, but it's
Yeah.
not a certainty. Okay.
It's not certain, no.
All right. It would definitely be weird to have two powerful mages making those attacks happen in the same day, but anybody powerful enough could summon something like that.
Speaking of powerful mages, Z knew this was gonna happen.
Does seem like it.
That is true, and she just proposed to me.
I'm not sure if that's what that... Never mind.
I'm spoken for now.
Well, congratulations, Bellinor.
Thank you.
We have just met, but you seem like quite a catch.
I am.
Any idea when the wedding's gonna be?
Well, as soon as we find her, so we should really step on that.
Well, at least you already have something to wear, and I'll gesture at the tuxedo with the sleeves torn off.
That is true.
I just love that visual, by the way.
I'm keeping this.
New costume change.
Episode 6.
Right? Bellinor wears a tux for the rest of the series. Done.
Thinking about it.
Alright, so I will start sorting through stacks of papers in Dad's office, looking at his calendar, seeing any recent notes, or if I can find anything maybe sneaky hidden.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 21. I rolled high.
Yeah, you search through his notes. It seems in order. There's a bunch of shipping information, notes on some of the deals he's made, recent trades. There are several contracts with the Westwind Trading Company, some of which have been signed by Zaya herself. You see another name on there, Magnus Dent, that pops up a couple of times. He apparently was an acquaintance of Mrs. Legat. There's some letters exchanged between him, her, and her husband, who, as you know, is the head of the Raven Guild, and they're in charge of a lot of customs work, so it makes sense that they'd work pretty closely together. Actually, all four of them, Zaya, your parents, and Leela's parents.
Okay.
There are a handful of mentions of Azalea Shada around here. Most of them seem quite cagey and doesn't seem like he was overly fond of her. They definitely were not working together.
It doesn't seem like my father was overly fond of Azalea.
Yes, you have
Okay.
nothing from her side.
Okay.
But from the handful of mentions of her that come up in some of the letters he has around, they weren't friends.
Okay. Can I
There's
tell?
no particular
Okay.
yeah, there's no particular overt animosity, but the way he writes about her, they clearly were not close.
Okay. All right, I'll just relay what I have found to everybody. Be like, well, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's anything too out of order. Just standard correspondence. I do see Father. I don't want to say is friends with Azalea, but he knows her at least. They seem to be at odds about just a few things. Nothing serious, though.
There's another name that comes up a fair amount. Dolasa Merrillwind.
Velasa.
Yes, Dolasa.
Velasa. And I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Merrillwind. Marrowind.
Okay.
Her name pops up only a handful of times, usually in association with Westwind Trading or Mrs. Lagat. She is from the Ice Flats, from what you can figure out.
Okay. Ice Flats. Alright, so she wasn't somebody who was, like, at the party or anything that I know of?
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know who she is. It's just a name that pops up.
Alright. Okay, well... I don't know. I see Dad's been talking with this Merrillwind person a lot. Maybe she has some better idea? I see she's been, I don't know, talking with the Legats and Westwind Trading too, so there's something to do with the trading company, maybe.
If I can ask, all the people were rich, obviously, the people that were taken, because they were taken from the super rich party.
I mean, yeah, as far as I know.
Well, how did all these people make their money? I don't know, maybe there's some connection in that.
I mean, different ways. Like, my family's... No, go ahead if you've got actual info.
You, Eglantine, would know this. Dora Eriderci, born into money.
Okay.
Leela's mother is not particularly wealthy, but she's married to someone who is extremely important in the city. So they don't really have money, but they were invited because they're important people.
Right.
Zaya, trading company. Your parents are merchants. They do a lot of trading. Azalea is from a very, very, very old elven family. So she has money from way back. She does magic stuff, deals in the esoteric and the strange and items of value or enchantments.
Okay, which definitely explains how she would know my family then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so, I mean, not all in the same trades or anything, but everybody's got some sort of money or importance at least. I mean, the Legats are diplomats or Lilavati's father runs the Ravens, the city watch, so they're pretty important. Otherwise, I guess the Westwind Trading Company is really pretty successful, so I would assume, Zaya's pretty well off. And, I mean, my family just, we trade. We trade and save, artifacts and knowledge, so that's where our money's come from over the years. It's all different, I guess. Except everything does seem to tie to the trading companies somehow. Everybody's seems to at least be in contact with them. I don't know. Maybe that's a place to start tomorrow? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get much more done tonight.
Well, maybe Gabriel will be able to find something out too with whatever he and his Grey Watch friend are up to. But...
would it be prudent to set up a watch on the rest of the people who were at the party? I'm fairly new to this sort of intrigue. I am usually only taking care of myself.
Well, Well, I mean, most of the people there have their own security details, as much as it helps. But I don't know. I would think that these shadow people were able to take anybody that they would have wanted to, while everyone was surprised.
I suppose if they wanted to take them, they would take them. So, there is perhaps not much we can do on that front.
Yeah, I mean, we should be pretty safe here. I mean, I don't know what, the other house's protections are like, but we've got some pretty good magic users keeping an eye out on things here, so I think we'll be all right for the night.
One can only hope.
Maybe we should have had a party. Latine's like, no, this wouldn't have happened at our house. Right, well, I think I need to get some rest if it's gonna be a long day tomorrow. You're all welcome to make yourselves comfortable, though. I mean, Kieran, I'll make sure that we have a room set up for you.
Oh, that would be very nice. I am used to camping outside city limits, and I'm not exactly very well off when it comes to coin.
Well,
So,
make yourself comfortable here. I mean, we've got pretty much anything you could want. So, if you want to read, or if you need to write some correspondence, we've got plenty of things. Or if you need something, clean to wear, we have things you can borrow. And I'm just like trying to very politely be like, maybe you should put something clean on to wear.
this is clean.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look great. Just if you wanted to get more comfortable or something.
Well, I do. Perhaps just make sure that my door has a lock on it. I do tend to sleep in the bath.
Oh, okay. It's very specific, but I will make sure to let the housekeepers know.
It is appreciated. I do not want anyone unsafely perhaps coming into my room at night.
They always knock first, but I will make sure they are extra careful.
Well, sometimes people do the whole opening the door and knocking on it at the same time, and it's like, why even knock in the first place if you're already on your way in? It's very strange.
I think awkward 17-year-old Eglantine is getting progressively blushier, just I'm just still talking about naked people, okay? All right, well, I'm gonna get to bed then. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Yes, perhaps you look a bit flushed. Perhaps make sure you are not.
Oh yeah, I've got all of these, this dress has a lot of layers, and it's warm in here, so I'm just gonna get going. Good night! And you just sort of hear giggling fading away.
Wow, I hope she was not overheating.
I don't think that was the issue. If you're very furry, can you really get naked? Isn't it all kind of covered up?
Well, that is a very personal question. And actually, Kieran isn't exactly I know he said he looks like a Highland cattle cow, but he's not that fuzzy. He just kind of looks like one with his hair kind of in front of his face. He does have a bit, no more hair than a tabaxi would. Cat person, so it's not like he's
not
he's
poofy,
not
he's just
no he's but I don't think I am exactly the right person to be giving you a lesson on Furbolg anatomy. I have only known one Furbolg in my life, and that is myself. Perhaps Eglantine has a book about Furbolg anatomy. Shall we go ask?
I really don't think we should bother her. You're actually the only Furbolg I've ever met, too.
Well, so much in common. Perhaps we should talk about the fact that we have only ever seen one Furbolg sometime.
I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing now.
Yes, but perhaps when it is not so late.
Okay, I'm gonna go have a less awkward conversation somewhere else.
That is not the first time I have had that. Tonight.
While this is all going on, I want to try to find Eglantine's dad.
Okay, all you have to do is ask a handful of the servants that are still up, and they can point you in the right direction.
What is his name?
Lysander is the one who's not kidnapped.
Okay. Lysander Penrose, yeah. Okay. I'll just like knock on the door of wherever he's at and be like, "Hello, Mr. Penrose. It is me, Bellinor. You know me. I'm the one who is wearing the shirt, sleeveless tux. I'm fashionable. Yes."
Yeah, I know who you are. He opens the heavy oak door to his office. It looks a lot like his husband's office. But the colors are a little darker. It's more somber.
Well, I just came by to say, well, first of all, thank you for letting us be in your home. It is very lovely.
You're welcome.
Second, I am very sorry for what has happened to your husband. I know that this is probably a very hard night for you.
Thank you for the sentiment.
Yes, third, I believe that we are going to try to find him in the morning, or at least look into his disappearance. Maybe not travel across the land to save him, but at least try to find out what's going on. Especially with Eglantine wanting to be some sort of adventurer now. I was wondering if you had any, items or anything like that that could help us on our journey. Perhaps like a sword or something like that, where maybe one for Gabriel that might mean something special to him. I don't know if you have anything like that laying around. Maybe like something that it's like a family crest, or I don't really know. I'm
No.
just spitball. Okay. Well, it was a real pleasure talking. I will be bringing this up again shortly, especially if we return him in one piece.
Bellinor,
Yes.
keep my daughter safe.
That is Gabriel's job. I'm not being paid. And I'll just kind of walk off.
He does not look happy. He stands there in the doorway for a few seconds and then closes it. And he doesn't quite slam it because he has better manners than that, but it's pretty loud.
Well, Gabriel, I tried, and I'll just walk off to bed.
All right, any other last things before we go to sleep tonight?
So I could just picture that scowl deepening as Bellinor kept going.
I tried the old foot in the door technique.
No? Okay.
I would like to do some experiments before I go to sleep on the blood I got from the what was their name? The god, the disciple of Aub.
Serena?
Yeah. If I can do some
Right,
research
okay.
on that blood, I want to see if there are any similarities between. If there's really any similarities between that sort of anatomy or magic and the magic we're dealing with now with these shadow hunter people.
It oozes dark magic.
Okay.
Anything else?
I mean, that was not quite as much information as I would have loved, but okay, yeah, that's fine.
Well, what kind of experiments and research are you doing specifically?
Specifically, I would like to see how it interacts when it gets heated, but mostly because the shadow people were covered in this smoke that caused fear, and Serena, she didn't cause fear.
Scary?
Well, she was scary, but she also could charm people, so I would like to...
Okay, you hold one of these samples to a flame. For a while, it does nothing. Then it starts to bubble and hiss, and this whitish smoke starts curling off of it. There's this horrible, acrid, salty smell.
Okay, so very much not similar. Alright.
I mean,
I
the
think
only
that's it.
real similarity you can find, because you don't have any real samples of a Shadow Man, is the fact that it is very clearly dark magic. It has taken something and twisted it into something it shouldn't be.
That's it.
I actually have one more thing, but I don't want to double up on scenes if anyone else has something.
I think you can go ahead.
All right. I'm going to get up in the middle of the night and just go downstairs for a nice glass of water and maybe, look around for rooms that look like a treasury very nonchalantly. It's a
Make an
scouting mission.
intelligence check.
It's a scouting mission. Nothing serious. Oh boy, intelligence.
This is why
Oh,
my
fuck.
room is locked.
I think that's a 5.
You open basically every door you pass. You find linen closets, you find unused bedrooms, offices, some rooms that just have nothing in them, a couple rooms full of trinkets and stuff. You get the sense they probably don't keep holes near the kitchen.
That is fair. Alright, well, I don't want to press my luck, so I guess I will actually go to bed.
Okay. Everyone goes to sleep, and morning rolls around. You're woken by a steward. It's not super early. After the night you had, they let you sleep in for a bit. Breakfast is ready and waiting. Lysander is not there. He left a note that says he has already gone to meet with the Ravens.
All right. Well, I guess I'm open to any ideas for exactly how we should start this search. I've never really tried to solve a mystery. I don't read that many mystery novels. It's not really my favorite. I guess the trading company might be a good place to start. I'm sure they'll be looking for Zaya too. But I don't know where else to start or anything. I'm open to suggestions.
Perhaps we should speak to the father of Mademoiselle Lila Vati. He seems like he might be a man with his finger on the pulse of the city.
Well, I mean, he heads the Ravens, so Dad will probably be meeting with him right now. I bet we'll be able to get some information. We could swing by their headquarters, though, and maybe we can, I don't know, not intrude on the meeting, but I mean, if we're helping with investigating, then, right? They need us, too.
That is all I can think of, at least.
I do want to bring up a point, like, you know how I got this new ring? Right after all of this went down. I am completely on board, and frankly, I don't have any plans, so I'm happy to search for your father as long as you want, but perhaps this is all part of the plan that Zuli knew would happen, and we are just supposed to stay course, because I find it a little interesting that I received the ring shortly after our chat was, or our Zuli has contacted me. And, I'm sorry, shortly after your father was kidnapped.
I mean, I guess maybe. But we didn't really know what we were doing to find Z either, right? We're just kind of guessing she might be in Taj Diamani, so... Now that this happened, maybe this is what we're supposed to do? I don't understand. I never really got the whole, seer thing.
Oh, I definitely think we try to find him before he maybe makes it to a secondary location, so... I hear your chances go down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. That's one. Okay, so I guess let's head to the Westwind Trading Company. Maybe they'll know something at least.
The Westwind Trading Company has offices in the Merchants Hall near the docks. So they also have their own headquarters, but chances are if you wanted to speak with a representative, especially without a meeting ahead of time, you would want to head for the Merchants Hall.
Okay. I guess that's what we do then. And I'll ask around, try to see if there's somebody who might be able to talk to us about, Zaya's missing. I'll make sure I, throw in the whole Penrose name as needed to be we got a connection kind of deal. Because by now I imagine everybody probably knows, there was this
everybody
wild,
knows
thing, so...
Yeah, the rumor mill is flourishing at the moment. The Merchant's Hall is pretty much clear across the city, so it takes you a bit to get there. You can take a coach, which speeds up your travel time by a bit. It takes about an hour and a half, even then, with all the traffic and stuff in the city. But you get there, the Merchant's Hall is this big stone building on stilts, so it's kind of an open air market on the bottom where people make deals, meet up, talk with each other. The whole place smells like fish and salt because it's very close to the ocean. And then for about 4 stories on top of that market area, it's just offices. You throw your name around a bit and you get led up and shown to an office on the 3rd floor labeled Evelyn. And there's a little symbol of a 3-masted ship, which is the West Wind Trading Company, on a swirl of air currents.
Okay. Do I know Evelyn's title or what their position is?
Nope, it just says
Okay.
Evelyn.
Well, I guess this is a start, and I'll give just a knock on the door.
It opens, and you see a rather harried-looking half-elven woman with dark skin and braids standing there. She looks tired. She has deep circles under her eyes. Hello, can I help you?
Oh, hi, my name is Eglantine Penrose. I was hoping maybe I could, or we could talk to somebody about the events that happened last night. Just hoping to get a little information.
Do you have an appointment with anyone?
No, not today. It's sort of urgent. Hard to make an appointment for a last-minute kidnapping, you know?
Wait, yes, she leans into her office, checks a candle, it's marking time. Wait, I have 30 minutes. What can I do for you?
Oh, well, we were just
come in, sit down.
Oh, thank you.
She ushers you into her office. There's a big map on one wall, and you actually see hundreds of little golden dots on the ocean and in the ports, and you know these are West Wind Trading Company ships being tracked on the map. There are papers everywhere. There's a globe with pins in it. There's ledgers and a box that looks like it might have funds. This woman looks overwhelmed and exhausted. I'm sorry, we've had a lot of inquiries after the events of last night, and what with everything that's been happening over the past few months.
What's been happening the past few months?
What hasn't been happening over the past few months. Storms, unpredictable currents, sea monsters from the depths of hell. It's been a nightmare for the trading company.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure things must be even more hectic now that, Zaya is missing. Do you have any idea, who might have wanted to take her, or maybe people that she's been working on trade relations with as well?
It's no secret that Zaya has enemies. But she was a good woman, and she did right people. She was working on some trade deals with the ice flats, with Taj Daman, with everybody. So I can't say much. I have to go speak with the Raven delegation very soon.
Would it be okay maybe if we took a look in Zaya's office just to see if we can find something? I mean, we're looking for my father too, so maybe there's some correspondence that I couldn't find that could help figure something out.
I don't know. There could be some classified stuff in her office. Make a charm roll.
Charm roll? Oh boy.
You invoked your dad, so you can have advantage.
Sweet. Oh god. Okay, much better. That's 16. It was a 4 without advantage.
Yeah, she looks really tired. She says, the Ravens have already been through there. We've already taken inventory. We've had a couple company representatives go through it already, but I have to get to a meeting. If you think you can find something, you're welcome to try. Her office is up one floor, directly above mine.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I mean, if we find anything else, we'll make sure we let somebody here know too to help.
I appreciate that. If you will excuse me.
Oh, of course. I'll skedaddle and I guess be like, all right, well, sorry for, Bellinor, but I think we've got some more reading to do.
Okay,
go up.
You head upstairs. The door is not locked. There are a couple notices posted with the Raven sigil. It says under investigation, but there is no one here.
Oh. Well, I guess we're able to go in. We've got permission. I'll go on in, I guess. It's police taped, right?
Yeah, it's basically police tape. You push the door open, clamber inside. This office is much bigger and much more well organized than Evelyn's. There is another Westwind Trading symbol on the door. There is a basically panoramic view of the dock looking out over all the ships there. There's a good view from the Merchant's Hall. It's a very old building. There are shelves and shelves of books full of charters and deals and contract records. She also has a map with it showing all the ships, and there's all kinds of curiosities from around the world in here. There's a skeleton of what looks like maybe a young sea monster of some kind hung from the ceiling. There's a thick rug from Taja Damani that is woven with gold. I mean, it's luxurious in here.
I guess I'll do pretty much the same kind of deal and start searching through things. Specifically, I'll turn to, I guess, I don't know, my friends, and just be like, if there's, I don't know, maybe they've got hidden spaces or something that the Ravens might have missed. I'd appreciate any help trying to find something. There's a lot in here to go through.
I will look through hidden spaces that the Ravens might have missed.
Okay, everybody searching, make an intelligence check.
13.
22.
8. I rolled so bad.
Eglantine, you're tripped up. You can't quite figure out the organizational system because so much of it has been taken into evidence by the Ravens. Bellinor, you have a little bit more luck, but it's all super boring stuff. It's a lot of numbers and a lot of names that mean nothing to you, a lot of locations, cities. Some of these records go back years. It's nothing particularly useful. Giles, you do find a secret compartment that houses a safe. The safe has already been opened and emptied. Let me see. Searching through all the files and things, it's more or less the same story as it was in Cornelius's office. She also mentions Azalea a few times. Again, don't seem close. Get the sense maybe Azalea doesn't have a lot of friends. That same name, Magnus Dent, pops up. There is a lot of complaining about strange currents in the Cauldron, which is the ocean. Some griping about piracy in the archipelago, but what's new there? A few mentions of sea monsters popping up where there haven't been in a while. You see a couple of records of a few ships that have been lost, some tradings. Their margins are still doing okay, but they've taken a little bit of a dip recently because of weird weather currents and just bad luck.
Alright, we'll deal with the weird water stuff later, but look, this Magnus Dent guy is coming up again. And anybody know who that is? Do I know who that is?
Does that name sound familiar?
It was in your father's paperwork as well, and you think maybe you've heard it a couple times in your life. You can both make intelligence checks to see if it means anything to you.
Ooh, that's an 18.
18 too.
Ooh, twins.
He's a merchant.
Yeah.
So he's been around your family, Eglantine. Giles, he has connections to Palestone. You've heard the name when you've been doing business there.
Do I know what he's a merchant of? Like what his family or he trades in?
Mostly fine goods,
Okay.
alcohol,
Just like luxury
rugs.
items.
Yeah, luxury items.
Okay.
Alright, so this is a long shot. But if this dude was also a merchant, it's possible he was in competition with these people and is trying to take them out of the picture. I don't know.
I mean, it's
From what you
possible.
can tell in the paperwork, they were friends.
Okay, well, scratch that. Magnus doesn't sound like a real stand-up guy, and let's just ignore everything we found.
Well, I mean, maybe. Yeah, Bellinor?
I mean, he still might be worth checking out, even though if he sounds like a good guy, it doesn't mean he is. I sound like a pretty good guy, but I am a good guy, so that one didn't really make sense. But, anyways.
He has an office in this building.
Oh, well, shit, let's go. Let's just go over and check it out.
He might know something not in the letters.
Is there? You said you have encountered those shadow beings before last night?
Yesterday, actually. A few hours before the party.
Oh. What exactly can you tell me about them? I couldn't get a very good look at them when they were in the middle of the kidnapping.
I mean, not too much. They're shadowy looking people. I know, they can be summoned by magic to, like, I guess sort of as assassins or, like, task people, you know? You can do, yeah.
They are almost like hunters. They somewhat go where someone wants, from my understanding, and retrieve what they want.
They're scary magical bounty hunters, and also very scary, and dark and scary.
And they seemed to be after Gabriel. At least that was who they kept attacking when they came after us the other day. But they ignored him at the party, right?
I mean, they ignored everybody except for the people they took. They probably knew with all the guards around, they couldn't actually fight everyone.
I wonder if there were any other attacks yesterday. Maybe elsewhere in the city?
Nice.
Is it possible that these were two unrelated attacks? The one against the party and the one against your group earlier in the day?
From what I understand, it takes a pretty powerful wizard to summon those things, or to hire them, I guess. I guess it's possible it was unrelated, but it seems very unlikely.
I mean, either a really powerful mage and/or somebody with a lot of money to hire one. A lot of people with money just went missing. Let's go talk to this Magnus guy. Maybe he knows something more.
Yes, I agree.
I've heard bad things about people named Magnus, how they turn into underworld beings, but that's just me. Anyways, let's go chat with him.
I know, I'm getting some flashbacks.
Yeah.
You head down the hall. He also has one of the larger offices on the top floor. So it only takes you a minute or two of searching the doors to find his office. It says his name, Magnus Dent. And you hear snoring coming through the door.
Ooh. Do we want to sneak in and look at his stuff while he's sleeping?
I don't know about that, but I feel a little rude.
Kieran just grabs his spear, which is compressed back into its normal form, and just goose.
You hear a yelp and something fall to the floor and a flutter of papers. Just a second.
Mastermind, clearly.
Some scrambling, and then the door opens. You see a very large human man, still dressed for the party last night in this rust-colored brocade vest. Says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, and Kieran kind of like moves out of the way so he can see the smaller Eglantine behind him.
Huh.
Uh,
Hello, Miss Mr. Dent. I can't say that name. Jesus. Hello, Magnus. My name is Eglantine Penrose. I was wondering if maybe I could ask you some questions about my father or anything you might know about things. Hello. Good morning.
Morning, kid. Yeah, come in. I'm sorry about the mess. I came right here after the party last night, so it's a bit. Yeah, come in.
Do I recognize him, like, from seeing him at the party, now that I'm seeing him?
In that knot of people you approached when you were speaking to your father, he was there. It was
Okay.
him, a silver dragonborn, Zaya, and a handful of others.
Okay. None of the other missing people, though, but Zaya, right? That I recall.
Yeah, it was Zaya.
All right. Oh, well, sorry we didn't get a chance to get introduced last night under better circumstances. Well, I don't know if the Ravens have probably already spoken to you, but, we're just trying to help do a little searching to see if we can figure out, why somebody would have wanted to take father like that. I see it seems like you two have been writing a lot. Can you think of anybody who, I don't know, might be mad at him recently or anything like that?
I wish I could be more help, kid, but it seems like the whole damn world's against us these days. Have a seat. You want anything to drink?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you. And I just sort of like look at my friends like, don't embarrass me.
I'll have a drink.
Yeah, I got whiskey, I got brandy, I got water.
Anything but water is fine.
All right, it's like 11:30, so we're gonna go non-alcoholic. Never mind, I might need it. Yeah. He pulls out a flask of this deep purple liquid, pours it, hands it out. It's some kind of grape juice. It's not alcoholic, but it's very nice. And he leans against his desk. It's this heavy oak desk. This man, he's very large, and his face is lined with smile lines. You get the sense, just judging from the vibe here, in any other circumstance, he'd probably be a really fun person.
Oh, he did it.
But he just looks tired.
Off with his head.
Don't trust anybody that smiles.
There were a lot of very rich and or important people who've stolen away last night. Was there any reason you can think of that you weren't among those very rich and important people who were stolen?
Rich and important I might be. I'm no Zaya. My company is pretty small, private, deals in luxury items for a select handful of clientele. I was mostly invited because I do work for the Andrins, the Airdarchis, White Waters, everybody. Quite frankly, if it had been Dora and Azalea, I could list you off 1,000 names of people want to do them harm, but Cornelius, Miss Legat, I mean, Zaya, they're good people.
Yes, well, the bad people in life are rarely the ones who are taken by force.
Quite frankly, if Azalea hadn't been taken, she'd be the first person I'd point a finger at.
Do you think perhaps that she organized it in the first place to throw suspicion off of herself?
Maybe. I told the Ravens that, but they seemed skeptical. I mean, Shadow Man, you don't... Giving your own name to a Shadow Man, even if you organized it, it's not safe.
I believe I am out of questions. Eglantine, do you have anything you would like to ask? I'm still very new to this. And he kind of just like sits down and he's trying to find like a chair that can sit his gangly ass.
I'm picturing that no matter what chair like Kieran sits in, he looks like an adult, like in back to school night, sitting on something that's way too small.
He kind of sits like L from Death Note, if you've seen it, where
Nice.
his legs are up on the thing and he's just got his hands on his
Oh my
lap.
god, what a weirdo. I love him. Alright, I mean, it seems like a lot of the people taken at least have been dealing recently with the trading company. Do you know if maybe there's something, I don't know, a deal that everybody might have been involved on for something, or an item maybe that Father was looking for, or something that might have attracted this? I mean, I don't really know what, your own relationships with, Father or Dad might be.
I'd consider them friends. Deal? Doubtful. Think it would be harder to pull teeth than to get a Shada and an Araderchi to sign a trade deal together, but item? Very possible. I mean, Zaya's good at procuring difficult to get things, and the Penroses, the Araderchis, the Shadas, they all want difficult to get things a lot of the time. I don't know what Mrs. Legat would have to do with that, though.
No, I don't know.
She's a good woman, and quite frankly, she doesn't have the kind of coin that one would need.
Sam remembers that Mrs. Legat was like essentially a diplomat or an ambassador type person. Was
Yep.
that to the ice flats as well, or was that someplace
Yes.
else? Okay. All right. I mean, it seems like there might be a lot of referencing at least to the ice flats, and for some of these, these folks. Do you know if maybe Father was in communication about anything there, or looking for something there, maybe?
Your dads did business in the ice flats all the time. There's all kinds of items out there to find. I mean, those dwarves are incredible craftsmen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the war in the tunnels all the time, there's items and temples and lost relics showing up all the time.
Yeah, I suppose. Is Eglantine believing this guy?
Make a
Does she
charm
trust
check.
him? Hoo, 18.
He seems honest. He seems forthright. You suspect when he says an item, maybe he might know a little bit more than he's saying.
Okay.
But apart from that, he seems honest.
Alright. Well, I don't know. I know we were just talking about maybe doing a little traveling. I'll look to everyone and be like, maybe the ice flats are the next place to go. I'm sure I've got something on my list I can hunt for there, if nothing else. And I'll just tap my bag where I've got my big list of item goals to find.
You might want to speak with Delasa before you head up that way. She's from there. She might have some tips.
Oh, that could be helpful. Well, I really appreciate, taking the time to help us out. If you think of anything, we'd appreciate, letting, I guess, my dad or somebody know.
Yeah, I will. It's a real shame. Your dad was a real nice man.
Monsieur Magnus, is there a place in this city where there is a temple to an healer?
Yeah, up in the Temple District.
I am very new in town, so I am trying to find my way there.
No, that's understandable. It's up, that way, he points.
Thank you very much. I definitely must do my duty and stop in. Thank you.
And you're welcome.
I guess we'll make our way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn to the
Eglantine.
others. Yes.
Be careful. Whatever's got all these big names up in the mix, it's not safe.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out, that's for sure. But I guess you be careful too, because who knows, maybe they're not done.
Maybe.
Have you heard about anybody else, by the way? Maybe having issues with a shadow man attack in the city? Anything else recently?
Not in Silvani. I mean, there were some whispers further south, and over in Tajnamani, there were talk of shadow creatures, but then there's always talk of shadow creatures in Tajnamani, so.
Okay, well, thanks. Worth a shot.
I wish I could be more help. Zio's a friend of mine, and so's your dad, so I'd like to see him home safe.
Me too. Thank you.
Be careful of those Aradirchis, because they're going to be poking around too, and if they think you're going to get in the way, they won't hesitate to remove you.
Oh, I mean, get in the way of trying to find their own, missing family member, though? I mean, I think we're all on the same side.
Maybe, but Aradirchis take vengeance real serious.
Okay. Well, be careful, thank you.
If you need anything, let me know.
We will. I think Eglantine looks a little, thrown off by that warning, like she was not expecting that, Well, I don't know what to do, where to go next.
Well, if you don't mind accompanying me, there is the temple to Anhira. I need to pay my respects, and perhaps the clergy there knows something or has felt something with the shadow people coming in and out of the city.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's no problem at all. I'd hate for you to, miss any worship you need to get done while you're here.
Yes, it is. Lucy, what is the weather today?
Pretty standard Salvani day. It's a little bit chilly with the breeze coming in off the ocean. It's never sunny in Salvani, ever. There's always this low grayish smog over the sky. But by those standards, it's pretty nice.
Is it more because of the city that there's no sun, or is it just the general climate of the surrounding area?
It's because of the city.
Okay.
As long as you're in the city, you can't see the sky.
Do I get the feeling that it's sunny outside of that?
Looking out across the water, it actually seems like kind of a bleak day.
Mm-mm. Yes, since I cannot see Anhira in the sky today, I definitely need to stop into the temple and bask in her light in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, sure, that's no problem. I don't know what would be necessarily near the temple district where we might feel like we'd be able to do things maybe while Kieran is handling that. Is there... I don't know.
The temples in the city kind of have their own district, so there's a whole bunch of temples. It's kind of like a gated community, but just for religious sites.
Okay.
And religious festivals and goings on.
Cool. All right. Well, Eglantine will accompany Kieran then. I don't know if there's anyone else wants to go. But we can take the carriage.
Well,
I got the keys to the car.
I guess if we're going, I will go. I have no problem with it, I guess.
So I suppose we will head to the temple district.
Yeah, the temple district is basically right next to the manor district. It's the fancy people place. It's lunchtime, so the traffic is a little bit thicker, but you make decent time. Starting to head towards afternoon by the time you arrive there. There are a handful of Artemis guards at the gate. Seems like more than there usually are. Typically there's 2 or 3 at the gate. Now there's 5. These young women with swords or spears and other weapons dressed all in white and silver, guarding the gate. They don't stop you, but they're watching the crowd as people come and go. Past these wrought iron gates is this long, wide boulevard lined with these yew trees and pecan trees, and every few yards there is another temple to another god, and they're not every god is represented here, but most of them are. There's statues and fountains and little shrines or larger temples, depending on how popular the god or goddess is.
So I would definitely try to find the temple to Anhira for Kieran.
The temple to Anhira is very obvious. It's towards the end of the row. It's one of the largest here. It's this big marble building with this stunning silver and gold frieze across the top that is depicting a breathtakingly beautiful woman in flowing robes hanging the stars in the sky.
Kieran's just kind of staring at it, and he's got this look on his face like, oh, that's a bit much.
It's a dark day, but the white marble of building seems to shine, even though there's no real sunlight.
He will kind of look to the rest of them. You are more than welcome to come with me and meditate in the light of Anhira, but I would not be insulted if you do not come with.
I think I'll stay outside, but please enjoy yourself. Take your time.
Last time I went into a church, a window broke, and then they almost died. So
Well, the door is open this time.
it was open last time. I
That's
just didn't
true.
know that.
That is also true.
I assumed they would lock up at night, but I guess it is a church. They kind of assumed people wouldn't do stuff like break through the window.
Please do not break the window of the temple. And he's just going to walk into the temple.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay out here.
Is Eglantine coming, or is she just going to stay?
I was actually gonna ask if there's a temple for Kaluri in the district, that she could go just sort of hang out into.
There is.
While waiting. Because I think she would probably just be like, all right, well, I'll see you after prayer hour. And, like, go over to that temple, because she'll just want to go and say some prayers for her family, pretty much. Because the father who went missing is also the one with, like, who she shares Asmar blood with, so she'll feel particularly like, this seems like a good thing to do right now. I'm gonna go pray.
Stream dog.
The temple to Kaluri is a little bit smaller than the one to Anhira because he is a spirit and not technically a god. But there is a priest in the typical priestly garb tending to a small fire in the center of the room. If you want to just sit and pray quietly, you can do that. You could speak to him. There is one or two other people here making offerings or praying or etc.
I think for now, at least, Eglantine will just sort of sit and pray silently. I didn't mean to, like, scoop in onto Kieran's, like, pray session so we can finish his kind of deal, and I'll think if there's something I want to ask. Because I imagine this is probably, like, also someplace that I'm familiar with anyway because of my family. So...
Yeah, you probably came here all the time when you were young. Right. At the entrance of the Temple of Anhira, who's going in? Kieran.
Yes, and I think that's it. I think everyone else is.
That is it.
Yep.
Right. You walk up these broad marble steps and through the front arch. It's actually kind of an intimidating building. It's very, very beautiful. The walls inside are painted these incredible colors, and there's these braziers of silver flame along the walls, and in the center is another statue of Anhira standing, peaceful expression on her face, and cupped in her hands is another flame, and there is a plinth at the bottom to leave offerings and such, and there are a handful of attendants just keeping things clean, moving things around, dressed in very simple white robes. The whole place smells of incense.
Kieran will walk up to, like, the large statue of her with the flame, and he'll just kind of reach up, place a single hand on there, and his eyes are closed, and he'll just kind of try to feel any of the presence of her that he can from it. He kind of ignores most of the other people for now.
The statue is warm to the touch. You know, one of the more recent nicknames for Enhira is the Silent Mother, because she tends to have a policy of non-interference. No one has seen a direct hand of Enhira since the war.
He's just gonna kind of mutter to himself. He's just like, well, this will have to do for now. But I hope to see you soon. There is enough darkness in the world without your light. He'll kind of turn around and try to find someone that looks to be in charge.
Yeah, there is an elven woman in the corner. She's speaking to two younger acolytes. She seems to be giving the orders.
He will walk up and wait for them to finish speaking, but he is definitely like awkwardly, like kind of just like a small child who doesn't want to interrupt like adults who are having like an important conversation. He's gonna kind of just like shift around a little bit. And he is 7 foot tall, so it looks really weird.
She notices you pretty quick and shoos the acolytes off to their duty. And she turns to you and she says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Does she look to be just like a priestess or like someone of a higher station? Or...
She looks like she's probably the high priestess of this temple.
Okay. Greetings to you, high priestess. My name is Kieran. I am an adherent of Enhira. That is always so hard for me to say. I had some questions for you, if you do not mind. I'm not sure if you have heard of the strange goings on at different places around the city last night.
I have been informed.
I was wondering if you or any of your other clergy have felt any disturbances in either the magical weave of the world or just a darkening of the light around the city.
She purses her lips and looks around. There's more people in this temple than there were at the Temple of Kaluri because it's a more widely worshipped goddess. Perhaps a private discussion is in order. Please follow me. And she leads you to the back of the building into a smaller room and then through a few more doors into what seems to be her office. And she gestures for you to have a seat. She pours a cup of tea for you. We have been feeling strange stirrings for months now.
I wondered as much. I am new to the city and I am slightly disconcerted that there is at no time any of the warmth or rays of Enhira pouring among the city. There seems to be an eternal cloud cover of sorts, and it makes one feel bereft of a light.
It can seem that way at times, but the light of Enhira follows us always, even when we can't see it. The sun always shines somewhere, even when it's dark.
He kind of like, his hand kind of just goes to the very worn book on his side, and he kind of just like grips it a little bit. It's like, yes, my mother always did say something along those lines. Unfortunately, I was always a seeing is believing sort of child, I suppose. But these things, these shadow creatures, is the first time I have seen them or come across anything like them, even in my time in Tajidamani, and I am unsure how they could survive. I would be, I should say, unsure of how they could survive in any city basking in Anhira's light, but I am disquieted, to say the least.
Well, with a strong enough caster, shadow men can set foot even in the brightest of places, but It grieves me deeply to say this city is not one such place. This is a place mired in greed, and it feeds on suffering in many ways.
Do you have the knowledge of those who were taken last night? And if so, do you know of any sort of connections that they may have had?
I am afraid I am not often invited to the dealings of the merchant class, as I frequently disapprove of their actions. I do know of those who are taken, though none of them were worshippers of Our Lady.
Well, I suppose that is one thing they had in common, but as in favor as I am of those of us who are finally turned to the light, I do not think that is a reason for anyone to be taken.
No, I very much doubt that was the common thread that linked them. There are many in this city who do not turn their faces to Our Lady's light.
Is there a certain way that you have been feeling these shadow men, these creatures, before they come, or have you just been feeling general darkness encroaching upon the city?
Anhira was not blessed with this sight, and nor am I, but there have been many stirrings across this land. We hear stories. There are tales from our various sisterhoods throughout the world of strange happenings, of longer shadows and colder breezes. The disciples of Emriel have been restless of late. Those who follow gods of the sea speak of dark currents, and the gods of the air speak of harsh winds, and those of the forest, they say there are things waking. I don't know much because my lady does not speak even to me, but I know she is watching.
There has been a lack of light far too long, I think, in the city, but this just comes from me having been here for a scant 24 hours.
Well, you're not wrong. I do my best, but there is only so much that our order alone can do.
Well, the light is always there. It is for the other people to bask in it. I am very grateful for your time. I will redouble my own efforts to speak with our mother, and perhaps sometime soon this will all change for the better.
One can only hope. It was a pleasure to meet you. It is always good to see a fellow worshipper of the light. I hope her glow guides you on your path.
Yes, I hope it does not too much longer before I can feel her warmth again in the sky. I think perhaps I may need to leave this city sooner rather than later.
Well, then blessings go with you.
And he's going to kind of like walk with her outside, and he'll leave just like one of his gold coins just on the little offering table and make his way out.
Right. Other boys, what were you up to while Kieran was having his heart-to-heart?
I am going to sneak away from Giles, and I am going to go talk to Moraine and see what she thinks about all of the going-ons.
Okay, you find a little shaded patch under some trees. Moraine materializes before you. She does not look happy.
Wow, when is she ever happy?
Very rarely.
Hey Moraine, what is new? How are you?
What's new? That is the best you have?
Oh, you're such a comedian. Okay, what do you know about Shadow Men?
They're a blight on this earth, and they shouldn't be granted passage in the world.
We finally agree on something. Okay, do you know of any... I know we are not really from where you are from, and it is very different time period. But do you know of any way I could go about finding the Shadow Men that kidnapped people from the party yesterday?
To find the Shadow Men, you'd have to find out who cast that spell.
Right, and is there anything... any lead or anything like that? Any hunch you have, perhaps?
Well, I don't trust anyone with the name Shada.
Alright, I will keep that in mind.
There are others at that party as well that would seek to do harm, but what do I know? It's been thousands of years.
Sure.
Hardly up to date on the latest political gossip.
I wish you were. And this to Lucy. I know someone named Shada, yeah? Yes?
Azalea Shada, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. I was just double checking. Alright, well, Moraine, it is... you are as lovely as ever, but I think I'll be leaving now unless you have any other wisdoms to share.
There is one thing.
Oh, okay.
Something to the south. Not far. Maybe a few days. I don't know what it is, but it's dark.
Something dark to the south. Alright, I will look into it. Would you smile if I was able to solve it?
Maybe.
Alright, I'll take it. Goodbye, Moraine. Great grandmother.
Goodbye. She vanishes.
The funny part is I actually don't know how I'm related to her, and I'll just walk away.
Just to nobody in particular.
Yeah.
Just say it to the
Eleanor
camera.
turns to the camera.
Yeah, Bellinor knows he's in a stream. It's canon.
Meanwhile,
Giles up to any shenaniganery?
I am. So, Giles watches Kieran go into the church, turns and is like, "Hey, Bella, what?" And seeing Bellinor vanished off the face of the earth, is just gonna. Is there a bakery in town?
Yeah, but it's not close to the Temple District.
Okay, then he's gonna spy on people with Pip.
He's gonna spy on people with Pip. Who are you spying on?
I'm gonna spy on Eglantine.
Okay. You watch Eglantine pray for a while.
Okay, well, that was uninteresting. I'm gonna go... I'm gonna go spy on... Is there anyone that looks suspicious in a bunch of churches?
Not really.
Huh.
Just people going to church.
But
Okay.
suspiciously.
I mean, there are people
Nobody
who
goes to
look
church
sad.
like this.
Some people dressed in dark colors. Maybe a loved one has recently passed.
They're wearing dark colors to hide something. They're getting ready for a robbery.
I don't know, some people look really happy. Maybe there's blessings of new children about. It's a church district.
Or maybe they're happy that they kidnapped a bunch of people last night.
That's it. That's what Pip is finding.
You know what? That's definitely it.
I figured it out, guys. I solved the mystery.
Nice
End of
job.
campaign.
Well, game over.
Oh, look,
I-
it's Eglantine's dad.
Do I see Eglantine's dad?
No.
Dang.
Worth a shot.
Nobody
Okay.
actually asked yet.
Okay,
It's always worth a try.
has Pip found... are there people eating? Because I'm just gonna have Pip go and try to grab some food.
Trying to steal people's lunch?
Yep.
In the church
Yeah,
district.
okay.
In the church
Yeah, there-
district.
There are some people having lunch by a fountain.
We left
Looks like-
without eating breakfast. So...
Yeah, it's true you did. Looks like someone recently had some kind of party. You see a child all dressed in finery. Maybe it was the pagan form of a christening. And they're having a big lunch on this lawn in front of a beautiful statue of who is it of? Marielle. Gonna try and steal some lunch from these people.
I'm gonna steal lunch from a child in a church.
Please tell me like
Okay.
Marielle is like the patron god of starving children or something. Like,
She's the patron god of, hey, don't steal from me.
just like being the worst.
Goddess of gentle currents, fair weather, and calm oceans. So take your chances.
Yeah, this is great. Let's go traveling now, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, roll speed.
Oh, I can't believe it. I didn't think I would.
This is your
actually get this
decision. You can
far.
back down at any
I know,
time.
you can't believe you're doing this. It was your idea.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna back down. I'm gonna see the food, but then I'm gonna see that it's gross commoner food and decide not to take it because it's
It's a
gross
perfectly
and
nice
commoner.
lunch.
I was gonna say, just keep in mind, you know, it's what my character would do. Just means that you choose what your character would do.
My character would definitely spy on people, and my character would definitely buy food. When neither of those worked out, I thought maybe he would steal some food, but I guess not.
The church district.
In a church district, yes.
They
Come on,
probably
my
have
character
food
would definitely not.
vendors here somewhere.
Are there any vendors, any food?
You can poke your head outside of the temple district and see what you can find.
I'm gonna get us some lunch. I'm gonna go, he's in church for a while. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna buy us some lunch, and I'm gonna come back.
I'm
in
gonna
like
get
10
us some
minutes.
lunch. I'm gonna go steal us some lunch from. not
Okay,
Temple.
you're in the snazzy part of town. There's plenty of like brunch, lunch places around here. People probably come here, like Christian ladies go to IHOP on Sunday. Like,
I'm gonna steal the equivalent, or I'm not gonna steal. I'm gonna buy the equivalent of a bunch of baked pretzels from a pretzel stand.
okay, it's kind of pricey around here, so like 2 gold, I guess.
Cool. Done. It's done. Hold on. Let
Great,
me
you
find
have an
something to
armful
put
of
down.
pretzels now.
And I walk back to give them some pretzels. This was my end game.
The pretzels are really good.
I'm not eating them all myself. I'm buying some for everyone.
But the one you eat is really good.
Okay. Then
Okay, everyone, unless Eglantine has anything she wants to do at the temple, then everyone can reconvene.
I think while I'm praying, because both Sam and Eglantine are feeling kind of stuck about what to do next, I'll try and cast like a sort of guidance spell as like part of my praying to see if maybe I can get some sort of like insight or lead about the best way to like find my father.
Okay, you pull out your amulet. This is going to take 1 cast.
Okay.
You stare at it, you're praying, and for just a moment, the edge of the pendant glimmers in the light. And it's like a shaft of sunlight just hit it, but there's no sunlight here. You're A, inside, and B, in cloud cover. But on the southernmost edge of the pendant, there's this flicker of sunlight. And it's here and then gone. But you are very sure you saw it.
Okay. All right, so I'll just sort of put my pendant back down after that, and just sort of whisper like a "thank you," and get up and head to find my friends.
Giles has pretzels.
Oh, this is great! I'm so hungry. We didn't even have time for breakfast. And I, very unladylike, just sort of start stuffing my face.
All right, we're gonna take a quick bio break here. We'll be back in like 10 minutes.
I was
Thanks,
just
everyone.
gonna type, hey, can we have a break? But look at that. All
There
right.
you go.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. we are back.
Hey, all right, we are back from our break. We're just gonna go right back into the game. We left off eating pretzels in the Temple District.
Non-stolen pretzels.
Yes, purchased with
Pretzels
actual
that were
money.
definitely purchased.
Be like,
All right, go ahead.
no, if I don't know if we're gonna.
I was just gonna ask, like, is there anything anyone wants to do before we move on from here?
Yeah, I imagine we'll probably just sort of start making our way, I guess, back to the house, unless somebody wanted, like, did you want to go to the docks to send a message?
I did want to go to the docks.
Okay, then I'll direct our driver there, and I guess we can fill each other in on the carriage. So, Kieran, did you have a good, I don't know, the praying session?
Well, I do not do as much praying as one might think. I try to commune with Anhira, which is very hard in this. He kind of like looks out towards the skies like this is a sort of a bleak city, so there's not as much sun as one would like. But I spoke to the high priestess of the temple. She was very nice. She gave me a very tiny cup of tea. She said that various holy people from the different parts of the world have noticed strange omens like chill winds and rough currents and perhaps weakening magical ties and perhaps darkening skies as well. She said a lot of things that were very ominous, which perhaps may tie into the ominous goings on in the city as well.
That matches. Oh my god! Hold on. That matches up with what we found in the trade documents too about bad currents ruining profits.
Well, I too had a bit of an epiphany walking through the temple streets. I saw an open window and I was just hanging out under it, and they were talking about something very dark to the south. And, Shadow Man dark magic seems kind of a bit too coincidental at the moment. And if Kieran also heard something about darkness, and maybe it's the same one that this person spoke of in the south.
Any idea who's saying it?
What,
Yeah.
sorry?
Do you know who it was? Like, where were you?
Oh, they took off. It was a long story. And then I got hit in the head with a rock, and I got all turned around. I couldn't get back there if I tried.
Wait, they saw you listening to them and then threw a rock at you?
Oh, no,
and
unrelated. Unrelated. Some kids were playing with this big rock. They were playing a rock ball, and I got hit in the head, so that sucked. But I'm okay, thanks for asking.
Oh.
You need.
What? Glad
do
you're
you need
okay?
Do you need someone to take a look at it? Or...
Oh no,
Yeah.
I heal incredibly fast. It is not more than a bruise at this point.
Okay, I mean, if you change your mind, I can certainly take a look.
Oh, well, I appreciate it so much. But anyways, that's south.
Yeah, I sort of, was trying to see if I could get some guidance from Kaluri. I got the sense that maybe it is something to the south, I suppose. I wasn't sure at first, but if you both have heard something too, it would certainly make sense. I don't know where, though, or how far, or what exactly, though. You just heard things about darkness? Dark creatures? Were there other Shadowmen attacks?
No, the exact quote was, "There is something dark to the south." That is all I really heard before that rock incident. Thanks, kids.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yep.
Are you sure you don't want someone to take a look at that? I mean,
I will be alright. We have fought Shadowmen.
okay.
You have to be really careful. Oh my god. You have to be really careful with head injuries. I mean, you don't want to get a concussion or brain damage.
That is true. I have fought many battles. The rock is of no concern.
No,
It
you're
is
very
a minor
concerned.
detail of the story.
If you are intending to come with us, Miss Eglantine, and the south, I feel perhaps it is best not to tell your remaining father that you are leaving. He may in fact try to make you stay.
Oh, Eglantine, I might have told your dad that we were going to go look for your father. Sorry.
Okay, I mean,
Never mind.
I'm sure it will be fine. I mean, Dad was always a little bit more supportive about the idea of me going out, so.
He is not very supportive of me, I can tell you that.
What do you mean?
Oh, he is just Mr. Grumpy Gills.
Dad?
Yes,
Well, I guess
I,
he's been through a lot with father missing.
I think that's the reason as well. Maybe I should have picked my time better.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he knows we were gonna be asking people around in the city today, so maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. Maybe try not to mention. Don't forget we haven't told him that we got attacked by shadow men also, and I think that would definitely freak him out. So, maybe don't mention that part later.
Yeah, I agree. Let's leave that detail out.
Oh, sorry, I've got a cat licking my arm very insistently right now, and it's adorable.
Don't we all?
Baby.
My cats aren't with me right now.
Sad.
Oh, look, the ducks!
Oh, we're here.
Oh, look, you're here.
Yes, and
Yeah, you pull up at the docks. Selvani is built on a delta on the River Aran. So there's basically water on all sides with bridges that lead into the city, but the docks lead out oceanward. It smells of salt, super busy, it's really loud. There are tons of boats coming and going and people rushing back and forth, struggling to get their ships all loaded and all the rigging set up before setting out. It's getting a little bit later, so this seems to be people arriving more so than people setting out. Most people set out in the morning. The post office is towards the entrance of the docks. You take your letter there, pay some gold, and they'll get it on a mail ship where it needs to go.
Okay. How much gold is it? Because I only have 8 gold left, so...
1 to get it all the way to Taj Namani is like 1 gold piece. It's not that expensive.
I can pay that. When I write the letter, I would like to write, hey Grim, how are you? I'm good. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm fine and that I've been up to a lot. I defeated the evil plot of a dark god. I saved an entire town, and then I met with a bunch of the rich and fended off attacks from dark bounty hunters called the Shadow Men. Now my job is to save the lives of some of the most powerful people in this continent. Anyway, I hope I'll see you soon. Anyway, I've also come up with some new inventions. Look at this one. It's fairly simple. It's just a mouse, but it's good at distracting people and it's helped me in the past. And I toss in my little Clockwork mouse that I've been working on. And I sealed up and I send it to Grim.
Okay, you head on over to the post office and you hand her a letter. Yeah, you give her some money. She tucks it away, bids you to have a nice day. As you are leaving, you hear shouting. You hear a female voice say, "You've searched my boat 3 times and you haven't found anything. Face it, Royden, I'm clean. I have an appointment to keep. Can't you just leave me alone?" And someone replies, but you can't make out what they're saying. And the voice says, "Oh, up yours! Just because you don't like me doesn't give you the right to harass me and my crew. We haven't done anything wrong."
Do I recognize this person?
You do. This is the
I
voice
would.
of Tam Silver.
I thought it was. Okay. Okay. Hey, you guys, Can you give me a second? There's someone I need to talk to. Actually, you guys probably want to talk to her too. This is Tam Silver, the trader I was talking about that I do business
Oh.
with.
Oh, I 100% want to talk to them. That was hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, why not?
So following.
You turn a corner, you see this sleek, low-to-the-ground ship with 3 masts and a bright blue flag. As you approach, everyone make an intelligence check.
21.
20.
Two.
Oh, I'm sorry, 19.
Giles, what'd you get?
Oh, sorry. 10.
10. Alright. Kieran. It's a boat. There's people
It's a-
arguing in front of it.
Nice.
It was a very nice boat.
Giles, you see a pretty white tiefling woman in a long blue coat wearing a tricorn hat shouting at a kind of paunchy, older human man, dark, thinning hair. He's scowling at her. And there's a slight audience clustered around them watching this drama play out. You see a couple of people exchanging money. It looks like they're taking bets. And scrawled on the side of the ship is the ship's name. It is called the Slipstream. Eglantine and Bellinor, you can just make out this tiefling woman's face. She looks really, really, really mad, and she has a small cluster of crew members behind her, glaring at this human man. You get the sense maybe this has happened a few times before, and they're pretty thoroughly sick of it. You also see in a scratch alongside the bottom of the hull a piece of coral. It is pale pink, and you recognize it. It is called Pirate's Bane coral, and it only grows in the reefs around the archipelago, which is a hotspot for piracy.
Where's the
The human man.
archipelago located? Like, I guess in relation to us. Is it, say, to the south?
No, it's not to the south. It is right in the middle of the cauldron.
Okay. Just figured I would ask.
Is it in the middle of the south of the cauldron?
It's pretty right on the equator and the meridian, right in the middle there.
Damn.
But is it south from here? I'm done.
The man throws his hands up, shoves some paper into the woman's hands, and storms off. She curses, it's very filthy, and flips him off as he walks away.
I walk up and say, "Hey, Tam, nice to see you."
She jumps a little bit and turns around. Oh, Giles. Hi. Didn't expect to see you here.
Hey, I mean, I didn't think I would be here either, actually. Listen, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I mean, I know I just saw you, but...
It depends on the favor.
So, we may need passage. God, where were we going? Hold on, this was so long ago. Where were we going?
South.
Well, we had been talking about trying to get to Tajiamani. We were going to see if my dads would let us teleport to the academy. But now I don't think that's necessarily our plan.
Yeah. Well, the question is, hold on, let's talk about this out of character real quick. Time freeze. The question is, are we going to try to find these people, or are we going to try to just go to Tajamani, or are we going to head south and look for the darkness that is south?
Well, I mean, both Sam and Eglantine's sense is these people are tied to the darkness in the south based on the information that we've just gotten. So going to the south would be her vote because missing dad?
I'm for the south as well. Oh, that was wrong. I would like to visit the south as well, because I think the two are linked, and honestly, we might find some news about Z by solving something dark like this.
All right then. Then I'm just gonna ask her for a different favor. I'm just gonna say, so I was wondering if you could do me a favor. When I was trading in Tarjam, where was I? You know what? I've forgotten everything, so I'm just gonna say.
We're in Taja Damani. Nice.
Yeah, I was in Tarjamani. When I was trading in Tarjamani, I left before I got to go. I left before I got to go to the funeral for. God. Oh my God! I can't even remember the name. The guy from my own backstory.
Who are you thinking of? I don't remember this either. It's been a minute.
This is the issue. I'm just gonna come up with a new name, and that's gonna be the canon name from now on. And their name is Peter.
Peter?
Their name is Peter in the super fantasy world. Their name is Peter.
Okay.
I never got to go to the funeral for Peter. I was wondering if you could give his daughter something. And I hand over 5 gold.
Yeah, I can make sure this gets there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, and good to see you, Giles. What are you doing in Sildani?
I'm looking for the darkness in the south, I guess.
Darkness
Basically, we were sent here by somebody named Z. They're you might have heard of them. They're a fortune teller, basically. A diviner.
I don't think I know anyone who just goes by Z, but
Do I remember their full name? I don't, but does Giles remember their full name?
Zuli. That's all you have.
Zuli. Well, their full name is Zuli, but they just sign everything Z.
Doesn't ring any bells. Sorry.
Right. Well, thank you so much. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Do all of us see her at this point?
Yeah, you're all
She
all
look
there.
familiar to me.
I mean, she's a snow white tiefling, so
What can I see her eyes at this point?
yeah, they're just completely white. It's not the person from your backstory.
Okay.
There's a slight resemblance here, but no.
Never
Tam,
know.
Tam, is it? You might want to take out that the coral out of your hull before you set sail again.
Oh shit! Yeah, thanks. She flicks a hand and it vanishes in a poof.
That's pretty impressive.
Thanks. I've been practicing.
Hey, I don't suppose you've heard about the disappearances that just happened with rich folk in town?
Who hasn't? I think everybody in the city knows, if not everybody in the continent.
I'm sure they do. We're kind of trying to find them. Any idea who would be against them? I mean, I know you probably didn't know them well, but they were kind of your competition.
The Aradare Chiefs are bastards. I wouldn't be surprised if half the city had a price on their heads. Don't know anything about that shadow woman or the Legat. Penrose, never had much dealing with them. Zaya, never met her personally. She runs a tight ship.
Alright, well, thanks for your help.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the catch there, tall guy. What's your name?
Oh, I thought you were talking to Giles. My name is Bellinor. Bellinor
tall
Tarathiel.
guy.
Yes.
Yep. Famously tall Giles.
My name is Bellinor Tarathiel of the Bellinor Tarathiels, and it is great to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you. I'm Tam. Thanks for the catch. Could have could have been bad.
Yes.
Those
Try to stay out of the cauldron if you can.
the cauldron is the entire ocean,
Oh, what is the place you just said?
the archipelago.
That place, the archipelago, if you can.
Well, I wish sometimes. Listen, anything else I can help you with while you're here? I mean, your last little gizmo, it did what it needed to do. Worked pretty well.
I'm glad to hear that. Honestly, I'm probably not going to be selling stuff like that anymore.
Sushim?
Listen, I think I should let you know I'm probably not going to be back in Tarjamani for a while. So we're probably not going to see each other again for a bit. And I want to say thank you. You helped me out a lot over the years.
Oh, well, didn't exactly do it for free. Your little inventions have been pretty useful.
Yeah, it's giving me a lot of good practice. Try to stay out of trouble. Or at least don't get caught.
Yeah, that seems more likely on that second one there. Listen, I'm going to be in town for the next couple of days while we reload and look for a new contract. So if you need anything, I'll be here.
Okay, great. I mean, if I can think of anything, I'll come by.
All right. Well, best of luck to you.
Great. You too.
Make Katrina watch over your steps.
Yes, may the gods do that. And Giles awkwardly walks away.
Eglantine, do you think Giles has a crush on her?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
I'm just
We
gonna
should
laugh
ask
in the
later.
back with Eglantine.
Eglantine
Tam.
will remember this.
Tam clambers back up onto her ship.
Hey, Kieran, do you think Belnor has a crush on Eglantine?
I have just met you all. I don't really get your group dynamic quite yet. I was fairly certain that Gabriel had something for Eglantine and perhaps also Lilavati. Lilavati is out of the picture now, so maybe the two of them could get together. It is very complicated. I should probably make a chart.
I love that.
It's just like Pepe Silva.
After this, I'm gonna make a chart of all of the romances going on right now.
Bellinor, old halfling woman. That's the only one that matters.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't remember who she was,
Nope.
but I'm here for it.
I'll find
Hold
her.
on. I have her name
I'll
somewhere.
win her heart.
He's just running out in the rain. Old halfling woman, come back!
I believe that was Natalia Vitalia. Who you
How could I
danced with.
forget her?
You didn't. You didn't.
Bellinor never forgets a dance partner.
That's true.
The more I think about it, the more this chart is gonna be like a serial killer wall.
I'm just getting that Charlie Day with all of his red string conspiracy
yeah.
board.
And with the Pepe Silva thing. And there's going to be different colors. Green means crushing on, and red means hate. And Gabriel and Eglantine's going to have both
Both of
colors.
Alright, well,
Anyway.
do we want to just start heading south now? I don't really know what else to do. I know it seems like a shot in the dark, but...
He's gonna Kieran's gonna speak up from what he was talking about. Just, speaking of Monsieur Moonshadow, we should probably let him know if we are leaving.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
sure, we'll
leave.
pick him up.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know where he went with his girlfriend or whatever, but
I think he is fighting hags.
probably.
Tech
I
hags,
think he
something
went
like
with
that.
somebody in the Grey Watch too, so I mean, maybe he'll have more information whenever he's done with whatever he is up to with her.
he seems like a man who can track fairly easily. I'm sure he can catch up with us, but it would not hurt to leave a message with perhaps Eglintine's estate.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna leave today, then I should definitely go home anyway to tell Dad and pack up and stuff.
Yeah. I kind of feel like we should get the move on. I mean, I know that they made that bad joke about secondary locations earlier, but I do feel like it is of some importance that we have some pep in our step.
Yeah, no, I definitely think you're right.
And frankly, I don't know how useful a town guard is going to be, because I doubt they're still in the town, so I don't know if anyone else is looking for them, and we might be the best bet they have.
I mean, whoever has them can do some really strong magic, so I don't think it would be too hard for them to get them far quickly.
I'm pretty strong. Oh, sorry, Giles. Go ahead.
To be clear, their best chance is to have us blindly head south and look for the darkness.
Unless you have a better suggestion. I mean, I am no... I bequeathed my leadership to Gabriel last time, and he is not here, so I don't know what we're going to do.
Some leader. That's why I voted for you, Bellinor.
Thank you, yes. It is not a majority rules kind of thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, we really should come up with some actual guidelines.
I think we're kind of working on it. I don't know.
I think Leela was doing all of that.
Yeah.
Man, we're really a mess without her. That was quick. All right, well, I guess let's head back home and get ready, and if Gabriel's not back by morning, we'll just leave a letter. He'll be able to find us.
We'll find him, yeah.
All right, you guys head back up to the top of the docks, hop into your carriage, and start heading back to the manor.
Eglantine.
Yeah.
Do you know where your fathers keep a treasury?
A treasury?
I do not want to rob them. I am just curious. Frankly, I am not speedy enough to rob them.
I mean, no offense, but I don't know if, frankly, you're very strong, yes, but that whole good at magic thing would probably be helpful. I mean, my family has a lot of really important artifacts sealed away in various places. Not even necessarily all at my house. I've got other family who hold on to stuff, but things are really, really well protected. I wouldn't recommend, going to take a peek if that's what you were thinking, Bellinor.
I was honestly just curious. I have never seen so much wealth before, and I was just curious what it looked like in there. I won't peek around anymore. I mean, at all. So.
I mean, I know we, do keep some important things around the house, but I don't even go down into, the vault or anything like that, and I haven't even seen the things that, other family members have, so...
Sure. Okay, well, I was just curious, that's all. I know every good family has a treasury, so...
Oh, yeah, I mean, we definitely do, but I don't, that's not really something I know too much about. Father, and my brother, actually, kind of handle that kind of stuff the most, so...
Oh, your brother, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't here, though. I mean, Charles, not Paul. Yeah, sorry. Paul's gonna be hasn't moved from the library since we found him yesterday, actually. I should make sure he eats before we leave.
Alright, well, that was it. I am just curious. Always wanting to learn, Bellinor. Loves books and shit.
Just eyes narrow.
Guile the Tall and Bellinor the Book Lover.
Yep.
All right, you make pretty good time back to the Penrose Manor. I'll unload out of the coach. The coach driver looks a little miffed. He had to crisscross the city half dozen times today, but
whatever. It's what we're paying him for.
That's hilarious. It's like, we gotta go back there. Oh, shit.
Shit. I left my pencil.
You head into the house. There's a dinner spread laid out. It's early evening now.
Any sign of Dad, or is he still off doing what, like, business stuff? Lysander Dad.
He's here. The other coach was in the garage. No, he's here.
Okay.
You don't see him in the main.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if he was, like, sequestered off, somewhere or something, so.
He's around.
Alright. Eglantine would be speaking to him before we leave or anything, but that's not super urgent right this moment. Well, I don't really know where the best place to start is. I don't know. I haven't really been south of Silvani before. Have any of you been down that way? Do you have any ideas? Maybe somewhere that we should go for more information?
Are we talking like, I'm looking at the map right now, are we talking like Silvani, like ocean south or continent south?
Continent south.
Okay. No, I have not.
She says, pulling out the map.
Right, I'm like also pulling it up. Damn it, I had it up before, but I have so many tabs I don't know where it went. Oh, I found it! Cool.
It's definitely
story,
on the
I know.
continent.
Okay.
Okay, so that's good to know. So I guess would there be any like interesting landmarks or locations that I might have like heard or read about? Any like places with a lot of maybe magic activity, or where like powerful magic users in the south of the continent might want to hang out as like a
Make
starting
an intelligence
point?
check.
Shit, nope, probably 10.
Shit.
You've heard some rumors and legends. Black Hill Keep, which is the home of the Shadas, is north from here.
Okay.
Oh,
The Mist is obviously south, but that's south.
Okay.
we should
There's
definitely check out the Shada place.
Oh, but that's to the north.
True.
yeah, that's up past the low hills.
Oh.
There are some places of historical significance down south, the island of Akel, and obviously the Talende Forest extends down that way. There's some elf clans that make their homes in the south, but nothing
Okay.
particularly sticks out to you.
Okay. So, like, I mean, I know, like, the Magic University is on Tajamani. There's, like, nothing sort of comparable to the south of us that I might be like, somebody able to conjure Shadowmen might be hanging out in this city or something then, right?
Nothing that really sticks out to you.
Okay.
Most of the magical hotspots in Azameora historically are either latitudinally speaking around the same area as you or north.
Okay. All right, well, best guess I've really got then is just following the road south until something terrible happens and gives us a clue. If we're following dark things, it seems like if we just keep going, we'll hear or see something eventually.
Kieran, make an intelligence check.
You really don't want me doing that.
Go, Kieran, go. Go, Kieran.
You
go.
can do
Oh.
it.
19.
Hey.
You, your mother has told you stories, and it's kind of hazy, you don't know the specifics, but you know there was once a great temple, on the eastern coast of, Azameara that has been lost to time. Nobody knows exactly where it is, but it was on the eastern coast.
Have any of you heard about the lost temple in Azamea's eastern coast?
Have any of us heard about the Lost Temple on Azameara's eastern coast?
You can make some intelligence checks.
I will tell you right now, I have not heard of it.
Oh, I definitely didn't hear about it.
Classic. No, what do you know?
Not a whole lot. My mother was trying to raise a growing, rambunctious boy as myself, she always had to find ways to keep me entertained and when I wasn't doing chores and such. And she liked to tell me stories about places that she had heard of. And there was supposed to be some sort of strange, mystic temple on the eastern coast of this continent, lost to time. And just no one is exactly sure where it is, but I've always been interested in trying to find it, among other things. But if that is not something that you all would be interested in, I know we have pressing matters at the moment.
Eglantine, this story rings a very faint bell for you. When you have a little more detail, you remember hearing Alexandria Moray ordered a temple in Azameara to be sacked, pillaged, and burned when she was conquering the Midlands.
Who's Alexandria Moray again?
Alexandria Moray is an ancient historical figure in Azameara.
Okay.
This would have been several thousand years ago.
Right. All right. Well, that does kind of sound like something I read, like, you know, in school ages ago. But it's been a while. I'm not very familiar.
I mean,
Could be a place to start.
everything happens for a reason, and I mean, Kirin came into our little group right when we needed to hear about the hidden temple. So I say we start our way towards that.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds very suspicious.
You're right. Let's turn around.
Speaking of everything happening for a reason, do you mind if I take a look at the ring you got?
Sure, you can. It's a little tight. I gotta struggle and take it off.
Alright, I take a look at it. Does it hold any secret clues? Do I find any fingerprints? Or...
Did you take a level in Mage?
No, I never did.
It's just a ring.
Do we want to pass it around and see what everyone else thinks?
Kieran's gonna kind of wave one hand and use his one charge of detect magic on it.
Great. This is a ring of resistance. Once a day for 5 minutes, it grants the wearer resistance to physical damage.
Oh, this, I've heard of this. My uncle, the one who taught me how to take care of myself, he's heard of rings like this. It is technically he's gonna hand it back to Bella, a ring of resistance. It helps with taking physical damage. My uncle usually saw it with the certain kind of fighters who lost themselves to this sort of rage. So he usually calls them rage rings.
Alright, I will put it on. I mean, I am not the most angry person, but I can give it a go.
It should help. I believe once it can help you once a day.
All right.
That sort of thing.
Thank you. I mean, I will give it a go. I appreciate it, and hopefully I can take more hits for you all so you can hide behind me.
This is why I prefer technology. See, my invention is to never have to sleep.
Well, you never made me a ring of resistance with your technology.
I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna say that in character. I can make a ring of resistance if I want it.
Alright, well, I will wear 2 then, if you can do that.
I can't do it right now. I need stuff for it.
Well, go. Do it.
We will wait. Just kidding.
We'll wait.
Your science explain how the reins work?
Yes, yes, it
Yes,
is.
it
Yes.
God, the biggest groups of nerds that we all knew that.
Look, we love Avatar in this house.
Okay, I go and fetch a tree branch and make a ring of resistance with my toolbox.
No, you don't.
No, you
I'm pretty sure I do.
It's yes
You
and
carve-
you see, it's yes and.
Yeah, yes, and
Yes,
Lucy.
and you carve a ring out of wood, but it doesn't have any magical properties because you are not a caster. You have no alchemical
I can still
supplies.
say it does. I'm like, this thing is resistant to the fire.
It's wood.
To the fire.
It sounds amazing. Do you mind if I take this one?
Yeah, Kieran, why don't
See,
you? After we
would love
it's technologically resistant to fire, so you won't even be able to tell the magic inside of it.
That
See-
sounds like either complete shit or you are. And he's not calling you out at all. He believes you.
Kieran, you should stick your hand in some lava and test that bad boy out.
Oh,
He was we find some. I
there's
said
no
we-
lava.
There is no lava.
All right, well,
Well, to be fair, he did say the fire and not the lava.
that's true.
Yes, that's the reason.
Classic.
That's gonna be bad later.
It's fine.
You did this to me.
All right, well, Eglantine, would you like to say goodbye to your dad? Do we want to go in the morning?
Maybe if we leave in the morning, that would be best. Actually, what time of the day is it at this point? Because we've been riding around and doing a lot of questionings and.
Early evening, 6-ish.
Okay, then yeah, we might as well wait. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I guess we might as well just wait the night. Maybe Gabriel will finish whatever investigation the Grey Watch is up to, and if not, then we can head out first thing in the morning.
All right, that is fine with me.
Maybe there'll be some more information by then too. Who knows what the Ravens could find?
Just true.
Okay, any last things you want to do before bed or during the night?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Eglantine would probably just be spending a lot of time in the family library, just trying to read more about the southern continent in preparation for knowing we're going that way.
Okay, you walk in, your brother is there. True to form, he has barely moved. He's maybe a foot to the left of where he was last time you saw him. There's a plate of sandwiches beside him. It looks like he has taken one bite from one of them and then gotten distracted.
Well, at least he's eating. He ate something. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm and you see his eyes are kind of red. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. I guess you talked to Dad.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I don't know what we'll be able to do, but we'll find him. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course someone will find him.
Do you know if anybody's reached out to Charles or Kerrigan yet?
I think Dad had messengers go out, try and hire someone to contact them.
Okay. Well, at least I'll probably be gone before Charles gets home. I don't really want to see that. I haven't told Dad yet, but I'm gonna be leaving again in the morning with my friends.
Oh.
We're looking for Father. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's good.
You okay?
I guess.
I'm sorry I'm not staying home longer.
Yeah. I wish you could hang out. Been kind of lonely, being the only one here.
Do you want to come with us?
Oh, I don't know if I'm cut out for adventuring, and I have so much research to do.
But I mean, you can probably do a lot of that on the road. I mean, I went to the Blue Acre manor and saw their library there. I mean, imagine all the things you could see if you wanted to come with us. I bet Dad would let you.
That's really nice of you, Eglin. I think I want to be here when Father gets back, and I don't really want to leave Dad alone.
Okay. Well, try to, pull yourself out of here sometimes then. If you are gonna be who you have for company.
Well, the aunts, they're gonna come stay for a while.
Oh, that's good. Nobody said that yet, so I'm glad. They'll keep you good company then.
Yeah. Just...
I'll be okay.
Okay.
All right. You'll get all of the, you'll get the good stories that I don't tell, Father and Dad, so just make sure they don't find them.
That'll be good. Make sure to write it down. It's only science if you write it down, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Don't worry, I'm writing lots of stuff. Here, if you want, you can see, what we've already done, and I'll pull out my, little personal journal. That's just sort of recording, the adventures that I've already had, and I'll let him look through it while I do my own research if he wants.
Yeah, he seems to brighten up a little bit when you give him this. He's quite fascinated by your adventures, a little horrified at times.
I've got badly drawn sketches of no, and then Gabriel almost died. Look at this. It's very much clearly my personal notes and not meant for any real academia or anything. Well, I'll make sure to send you all the updates I can, and we'll find Father soon.
I really appreciate that, Eglantine. I'll send you my thesis when I'm done with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd love to read that.
If I ever am done with it.
Well, right you're going, you're making a good dent. And I'll just gesture at the pile of books next to him.
Yeah, it's up to his waist. It's a lot of books.
You're all right, well, I'll let you get back to work. I'll just keep doing some research, but I'll be right over here if you need me.
I'll be here.
And I'll probably just spend most of the night until bed, at least, doing quiet research with my brother.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, just sort of anything preparatory, maybe, that, specifically because she knows we're heading down to the southern continent. She would want to do just any research there. Maybe try to actively look for more info about that, the temple that Kieran was talking about. And she might want to do some research, I guess, just into stuff, anything with the ice flats, because those have come up too.
Okay. I will type up some information about Southern Asmayara to send to you.
Cool.
Oh,
no.
As for the Lost Temple, you check your facts. You are correct. It was the temple burned by Alexandria of Moray while she was conquering Asmayara. Before the first golden age of Asmayara, a couple hundred years after the end of the war. Her reasoning for having the temple destroyed is unclear. She left most religious aspects alone. I mean, she sacked a lot of towns and stuff, as one does when they are conquering, but there's not a whole lot of regional religion in this world. It's very interconnected. So her reasoning for targeting this specific temple is kind of hazy. It seems to be one of the only instances of this during her run. There is no location given. You do find one note in the margins of a very, very old book, and a very archaic dialect. When you translate it, it comes out to, hold on, something about Kyr, which is very strange. Kyr is the god of sea storms and killing winds. So the fact that his name comes up is perhaps vaguely concerning.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the ice flats, it's basically stuff you already know. The dwarves and the drow have been at war with each other for centuries. There's a couple wandering tabaxi tribes, some dragonborn up north. If you want anything more specific, just let me know and I'll send you stuff. Okay. Anybody else? Anything before bed? Nope. Okay. We will call it there because I don't want to move on without Alex. So you're going to do our sign-offs. Chris, you want to start?
I sure do. Hello, I am Chris. I am one of the admins here, probably best known for running Agora's Bells, one of our other persistent campaigns. That is every other Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST, and that is luckily tomorrow. So, tomorrow, a little sample of what you can expect. We are in a city in the first continent of the world inside of a giant statue to one of the old dead gods. So it's a pretty cool city. Come check it out if you got time. I play in Steam Spell, Elsewhere, obviously, and Perilous Suns. And that is it for me.
You cut out a bit.
Harry?
Okay, just wanted to make sure. This is the only thing I do for this channel, and I do have some personal projects that I will hopefully be ready to announce very soon. But for now, just catch me here next month, and I don't have any social media.
Sam?
Hey everyone, I am Sam. I'm one of the admins here. I'm the accessibility director. You can find me on Twitter at @TheSamWisest. I'm samwise_GameG here on Twitch. I will also be in Agora's Bells tomorrow. You can also find me here on Mondays with No Initiative in Wildmount, Daring, and Divine. We unfortunately had to cancel because of also tech issues the other night. So we're going to be extending that for another week. And otherwise, I'm going to be guesting not this Friday, next Friday on Journey to Make Believe. We're going to be playing Dialect over there, and I'm really excited to get to play it again because it's like my new favorite game. And otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I've got going on right now since we're on a break with Steam Spell. So otherwise, you can see me here on Monday next.
All right, Ryan.
Hi there. My name is Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at @TheSimulacre. I live here on Chromatic Chimera, where I play in this game, Kieran Volk. And in Steam Spell, I play Grey, the Tiefling Warlock of the Celestial. And that game, as Sam said, is on hiatus at the moment, as we finished our big Season 1 finale epilogue thingy. And I find myself with much time on my hands now. Otherwise, I have a thing called Sims Character Creations, wherein I compose music for TTRPG characters / podcasts or whatever you might need something for. I have all of that information up on my Twitter. My commissions are currently closed as I'm in the middle of a big project, but if you have something in the future you'd like to do, feel free to reach out and we can discuss that.
All right. I'm Lucy. Obviously, I am the GM for this game. I also play in Agora's Bells. Very excited for that. And Steam Spell, which, as they said, is on hiatus, but I'm very excited for it to return. I also run Clockwork Hearts, which is a podcast that uses the same system in a steampunk setting. Ryan did our theme song, and it is absolutely fantastic. We are hoping to have a new episode up this week, hopefully tomorrow, if all goes well in the editing room. You can find me on Twitter at Bluebird Draws. I do art commissions and I tweet about RPGs. And that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really, really exciting to be able to premiere this system. And I'm so thrilled to have all these wonderful players with me. Hopefully the tech demons will not be so bad next month. We really hope to see you then. Thank you so much. Bye.